Hi everybody. So before we continue on, in the last video we went ahead and put all of the ribs in, and I also had forgotten, but I also put the baffle on the back just because I wanted to make sure that everything was square. I had a small inkling that it might not have been square. Come to find out, I was actually just drunk. Anyway, so the cradle pieces that the tank is currently in, those are traced on the top of the wing crate by Vans. Thank you, Vans, and I appreciate that. However, they don't work well unless they're connected, or at least have some kind of base on them. So I found a nice 2x4, and I had some extra 3/8 inch plywood from the crate. I cut some angle aluminum that you see me drilling holes into now. And there's the old cracola. And so now I'm just going to attach, as you can see, there's a little bit of a bow to that plywood, so I'm actually using nails. I'm nailing it down. I'm actually not using nails at all. Those are actually just mandrels from pop rivets. See, I don't throw anything away and I get to use it later. So, yeah, just using number 10 screws and nuts to make this thing nice and secure. Plus, I really wanted to have a little bit of weight on the bottom. It really helps for moving it around, especially when you need to tilt it over on the side. And, of course, the obligatory, really nice puffy masking tape to help not scratch the skins. One thing about those is until you put the ribs in, and I talked about this before, until you put the ribs in, the skins don't really want to fit that thing all too well. Just because it's a non-symmetric bend. The leading edges, you can see it right there. Right side's flat, other side's that nice top rounded part, or more flat. Anyway, once you start putting those ribs in, that thing falls into place real easily, and also falls out of those cradles very easily as well. Okay, so here we go. This is it. The very first thing that you do is you rivet that small front inboard nose rib in place. So here comes some sealant. This is also the easiest rib to put into place because it's on the edge. You can use your rivet squeezer. Now, a good friend of mine, or I should say, I consider him a friend. We chat a lot sometimes, is Jason Ellis. He's got a RV10 channel on YouTube. He documents his RV10 build, and I watch him do this, and he masks everything off with masking tape. I wish I'd have done that for this rib specifically. The rest of them, I tried a little bit of it for the interior ribs, but it was too much of a pain. Getting down between there, it's bad enough as is. And a little extra slopped around tank sealant really doesn't hurt anyone, as you will see. But yeah, for this one, I really wish I had. Oh, and then there's this. Setting the rib. Yep. So what happened was I squeezed the rivet, and there was enough tank sealant on the skin left over when I released the trigger on the rivet squeezer. Yeah, the actual die came out of the squeezer. And it actually happened a couple more times after that as well. It just made me laugh. The first time that happened, that made me laugh really hard. So yeah, back to what I was saying. I really wish I had masked off this front side because you've got I mean, that's the interior. I mean, it's the inboard side. So this is where it attaches to, all the important things, including um, the striped skin, and it attaches to the fuselage. So you've got a lot of screw holes there and rivets, and you want them to be clean. And if there were masking tape there, they would be clean. But instead, I had to wind up scrubbing the crap out of it with a rag of acetone. So now that one's in place, and what Vance tells you to do is to then rivet in all of the ribs, going from the inboard side to the outboard side. So that's what I'm doing. And I just had retest fit the first one. Saw that I still needed to do a little bit of flanging, adjustments to the flange, so I did. Now I'm setting up the rivet gun because you can't squeeze these anymore. Rivet gun only. Now I did not mask off this where the ribs are, but I did use a I did use a pin and outline the ribs on the skin so that I could have a general idea of where but I knew exactly where I needed to smear the tank sealant on. And there I am applying it. This is the only easy one that there is. Of the full-size ribs, these are interior ones. This is the easiest one there is, only because the inboard nose rib is small and allows you to actually get your arm through. Everything else, not very easy. So you can see I've got it clecoed back into place. And now there is one small thing about, I think it's the nose side. Yeah, it's the upper side. So yeah, you can see that I've actually got it, had to remove it from the cradle to actually get to the very bottom rivet. So the very bottom rivet on the upper side is at a very steep angle compared to the cradle, and you can't actually put your rivet gun down there and get flush. So I had to move it forward to get it to an accessible spot where I could actually rivet it on. And then the rest is just with the bars. Anyway, see you in the next video.